Well, hello there folks. You join your host Richard on the Isle of Skye for the Skye Trail section 2 or stage 2, and I just thought I'd point out that on a lot of hikes in Britain and Scotland and this, you know, there are no signs. You don't get big orange markers saying you're going the right way, or a sign saying yeah, so far to so far. Most of the time you will not see any markers, even on bits where you can't see the path. Normally there'll be no markers whatsoever. I mean, here this is actually quite a good path. You can see it. It's quite, for me it's quite easy to see. It's quite obviously a path, but up here you're going to get quite bad weather quite often, so you're not going to even, you know, you're not going to get any viewpoints. So really you do need not just a map but a GPS. I mean, it'll save a lot of hassle. Like, I mean, you won't get lost. I mean, well, you can get lost, but even with a GPS, I mean, because they don't always work very well in the mountains. Like, they don't tell you exactly the point you are if you're on a sort of slope, or but they give you a general idea of where you are. But normally on flat ground, yeah, they're okay. Like, they can pretty much say where you are. But I've never had any problems with the GPS. I've never had one fail on me on hike. I've never run out of. I've always carried enough battery power, and to me, a GPS is just as reliable. Is better than a map. But a map is still good, and it's good to have map skills. I mean, map skills are piss easy. I mean, it's not like you don't really need that many brain cells to read a map, to be honest. It's a very easy thing to learn. To be honest, you might find harder, you know, older people might find it harder to learn how to use a GPS than read a map. But yeah, reading a map's a piece of piss. You know, it takes what 10 minutes to learn how to do it. I mean, you don't even have to learn. It's just fucking common knowledge, I would have thought. I use a map to look at the general big picture, and then the GPS to see where I am these days. But yeah, sometimes if I forgot my GPS, so, you know, sometimes I've hiked some serious hikes without even using a map or a GPS. You know, just following the footsteps where people have trod, and like you know, depending on the track, sometimes you can do that, but it's definitely a good idea, I think, to take a proper GPS, like a mobile phone one. Ideally, you can get one like this, fairly cheap now, and get a topo map on it, and it's got the paths on and routes, and you can add routes to it, and it's fucking waterproof, drop proof. This one, E-Trex 30, it's very good. I've used it on loads of hikes, and Garmin GPS has never had any problems with them. So yeah, definitely. I mean, so yeah, hikes here are a bit more serious than say like in New Zealand. The hikes are steep, where you get steep hikes here as well, but here you've got no wind protection because there's hardly any trees, and you don't get the lovely great big orange markers to tell you where you are. So I'd say here it's much more easy to get lost than, say, like hiking in somewhere like New Zealand, where they've got these lovely great big orange markers for tourists, so they don't get lost. But yeah, this is more of a, so yeah, some people who think, oh yeah, I've done New Zealand, like the mountains are much bigger there and it's more serious and there's less people living there, so I should be able to do a Scottish hike a piece of piss. Well, mate, I'm afraid the hikes here are a lot harder, in my opinion anyway.